If you haven't already gotten a copy of Roger Bennett's #1 New York Times bestseller, Reborn in the USA, An Englishman's Love Letter to His Chosen Home, please do. Available online wherever books are sold. And one of the stars of Men in Blazers, co-host on NBCSports.com. He's a podcaster, filmmaker, all-around good guy. And we thought, we got some drama here going on in soccer right now. And wait, you're wearing a Chicago Bears hat? Old school Bears hat?
Super Bowl 20 Bears hat. It's happening. This is the season.
No, it's not.
And, by the way, when you said in your recap, which I had to listen to, when you said the Bears, I think they could be average. I've got to be honest. I'd bite your arm off for average right now. I really, really would. I'm feeling quite bullish. I love the way you noticed the hat. And you didn't notice. I didn't even know it was Meat Friday. And good Lord, here I am dressed for it in my Meat Friday tracksuit.
You have an Arby's tracksuit, and it looks like a piece of roast beef there.
I've actually got, it's a full tracksuit. I wrote in my book about how the first time as a 15-year-old, I ate Arby's and just the taste of that beef dip tasted like democracy and freedom. and so lo and behold, Arby's, possibly the greatest press they've had in about 30 years. I received from Arby's a full meat tracksuit, which I wear often. And your producers just told me I look like Lady Gaga.
Well, she did have that outfit where she actually had meat as her outfit.
Yeah, she wore it well. We won't even do a who wore it better. I'll give it to her. I look like a bald. I'll take it. I'll be the bald Lady Gaga. But it's a joy to be with you on Meat Fridays as football, the world of football, eats itself, Dan Patrick.
Before we get to soccer here, I went on my honeymoon to London in Scotland, and when I got the food was horrible. So I'm coming up on my 34th wedding anniversary this weekend. And I just remember I ate at Pizza Hut almost the whole time I was in London. Has the food gotten better in London?
God, when you said Pizza Hut, 15-year-old me was like, oh, that's a humble brag. That is it. In England, when I grew up, I want you to know, Pizza Hut was a Michelin-starred restaurant. I never had 1 or 2 stars. But, in my book, I write about when McDonald's opened when I was a kid in Liverpool. We would drive for hours to go to the nearest McDonald's. Like, you would drive for 3 or 4 hours. It would be like, oh, my God, there'd be a line around the block. You'd see the golden arches, and it would be like the Simpsons, noise. You'd drop to your knees. You would wait patiently. You get to the front. The person would be like, what do you want? You'd be like, what do you mean what do I want? I want the whole bloody menu. And then you would sit there for hours until a food coma of just meat gristle and utter crap had filled your belly. And you looked at the styrofoam castle that was in front of you and you were like, America. You ate the best. You ate the best of what. That's why your marriage has lasted 34 years. You set expectations low and just climb from there.
All right. As you point out, football has gone a bit bonkers here.
Oh, my God.
Where are we right now with Cristiano Ronaldo?
I don't know. Cristiano Ronaldo, who your viewers may know is really essentially a bottle of Dracar Noir made into human flesh. One of the world's greatest footballers, 36 years old now. I mean, just and still an elite athlete, still scoring goals. His game has changed. He's no longer the all-round footballer who can dominate games. He now kind of hangs around the area on the counter, scores a ton. He wants away from Juventus. He said his goodbyes to Italian powerhouse Juventus. I imagine him sitting on a plane, just idling on the tarmac, trying to work out where the heck he's going to go, probably plucking his eyebrows to kill the time. And right now, world football has become insane. You remember the Super League, don't you, Dan? You remember, cast your mind back those many years ago. That's what it feels like to the Super League failed. But now what I realize is the Super League was really an effort by the second level of superpower teams, many of them owned by American owners, Liverpool, Arsenal, Manchester United, even Barcelona and Real Madrid. They felt threatened by the upper echelon of super teams, PSG, Paris Saint-Germain, Chelsea, and also Manchester City, one owned by an oligarch, the other two owned by sovereign states who have limitless financing that no one else can keep up with. And they have essentially stretched the market. They're willing to pay wages beyond belief. No one else can compete. And so the reality is with Cristiano Ronaldo, who is really more a Instagram platform than a footballer. He's an excellent footballer, but just the Instagram, the social media brand platform that he is. That's why teams currently want him more than anything. There's very few places that he can actually go. It was thought he was going to go to Manchester City, which has already got just a glut of.
So now it's Manchester United.
Yeah. I mean, it's chaos is allowed. World football, Dan, has essentially become the equivalent of watching Bezos, Branson, and Musk compete to send phallic rockets towards the moon. There's like three teams. We're essentially just cheering for Excel balance sheets.
Would you rather have Messi or Ronaldo?
I'd rather have a young gentleman with a huge. Right now, there's a player Mbappe about to leave Paris Saint-Germain and go to Real Madrid because Messi has arrived. These two are massive brand platforms. They're incredibly aged. Deep respect to Tom Brady going to Tampa Bay. But football is such a cohesive game. You need players at the elite level who can now play both ends, play 90 minutes backwards and forwards. Neither of those gentlemen can do it. I adore Messi in this argument. Essentially, there's two kinds of fans, those who do believe in plucking their eyebrows deeply, those who don't. If you are in the former, you adore and revere the god like Ronaldo. If you don't, you love the supercuts approach to life of Lionel Messi. We are blessed. We are blessed to have been alive to watch both of them men play. And when they both go, we've taken their just consistent, superlative excellence for granted. But they're both now in a situation where they are so big, there's only one or two clubs they can go to. There's essentially a secret VIP room within football's VIP room. And that's where they've both gotten themselves into. But God bless them both. They've given us incredible thrills. I don't know where Ronaldo is going to go. And that idea of him on the plane, just anxiously waiting. And my Lord, if that plane ends up in MLS in America, it will be hilarious.
Oh, he's not ready for that yet.
The reality is there could be a plan C. If I've got a feeling Manchester United will take him for a variety of reasons. Manchester United owned by the Tampa Bay owners, the Glazers. That's where he came through as a youth. It's a fine, fitting legacy to end his career. They truly need a gentleman. Their team is highly paid. It's got so many stars. It's not quite cohesive. I mean, it'll be hilarious to watch him wash up there. But very soon, both of those gentlemen could well come here because MLS is not a footballing challenge, but to dominate America, that final brand play for your legacy to come here and set up a brand deal with Shake Weights, have Ronaldo doing a Shake Weight commercial on QVC. God, that will be. I did that as Shake Weights. Just be clear, America. That is the future that I want to see.
Better career, Ronaldo or Tom Brady?
Damn. I mean, they have both rewritten our understanding of aging athletes. They are both superlative competitors. They are both, so disciplined in their approach to the game.
All right, how about this? Better looking.
That would be. Oh, that one. The reality is, I believe, and I've only met him once. Ronaldo still has all of his own hair. So I am, as a Bears fan, one of the things that upsets me most in life, Dan Patrick, is I love the city of Chicago. It's my spiritual home. I yearn to be there. And whenever I land at the airport, as I did a couple of weeks ago to go and throw out a pitch at the White Sox, you land, you have that joy of being home. And then all the way in on the road from the airport to the city, you are taunted by Brian Urlacher pitching hair transplants. And there's nothing that annoys me more because that man, I idolize that man. Bald Urlacher put him on the pedestal. Newly, freshly, fakely haired Brian Urlacher. Frankly, he's gone a bit off the rails. And so I do think, like, if you go into that, if you steroid your hair, you do lose style points. So I've got to go with Ronnie. But both of those human beings, ultimately, what you worship is that mental, the rage eating of one almond when you lose a game. Allow that kind of discipline is what I revere about there. It's the opposite of me, essentially, in my meat and Arby's tracksuit.
I love it. Hey, congrats on the book. It's great to talk to you. You cleared it all up there. We know exactly what's going on in soccer right now.
Yeah, I mean, essentially, it's Bezos, it's Branson, it's Musk, it's phallic rockets to the moon.
Thank you, buddy.
And Mazel Tov on your wedding 34 years ago, Dan Patrick. Courage.
Good yontif. Much nachas. Roger Bennett, Men in Blazers co-host on NBCSports.com and the #1 New York Times bestseller, Reborn in the USA.